Imagine not being Leeds, not feeling this pain, not dancing through thunder, not walking through rain. Imagine not rising with fists in the air when the world turned its back and no one would care. We've lived in the ashes, we've drowned in defeat, but still we stand proud on our battered old feet. Imagine not loving with all that you are. Imagine not being Leeds.
We love you, Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.
We do love you, Leeds. Come on. Another one in the door. Gabriel Gudmundsson takes it to deal number 4. Not officially signed, but all but. He is going to be a Leeds United player, as we all expected for the last week or so, really. It's been reported tonight, so I thought I'd jump on, do a bit of a pre-record. This came out about an hour or so ago. So, yeah, total agreement for the sale of Gudmundsson to Leeds. Arriving in Lille in 2021, the versatile left-back, Gabriel Gudmundsson, will pack his bags according to our information. A total agreement has been reached between Lille and Leeds for a transfer value at 12 million euros, and that's come from a French source. And then not long after that, we got this one. Finally, Joe Donahue pops up. Local journalists have been breaking all the Leeds content, all the Leeds news lately. Graham Smith is probably passed this one over to Joe Donahue when he announces this one in a £12 million pound deal, which is about 12 million euros. I'm absolutely ecstatic to see this man come through the door. The longer it goes on, you start to worry. This guy's got Champions League experience, international experience, and playing for Lille. A lot of people don't rate the French league, but it's still a decent level. And like I say, that Championship football and national football, it's only going to aid us going forward. Is he a Premier League player? We'll have to see. I've got to presume so. He's going to be a starting left back. He's a player that excites me. I kind of thought with Firpo going, we'd take a different approach when it comes to our fullbacks. I did think maybe we'd be a bit more reserved on one of the sides, similar to what we had that first year under Farker, where he had Archie Gray sort of tucked in a little bit more and didn't bomb forward. It allowed Firpo to go down that left. We know what Bogo's going to do down that right-hand side. I thought we may have took that sort of approach and got a bit more defensive-minded left back. This guy is not that. This guy, whether he's going to be as high up as Firpo remains to be seen, but he does like to get forward. He's very athletic. I'd say he's better defensively than Firpo on the stats and stuff I've read and seen of Gudmundsson. So let's hope he can do both sides of that game at the highest level, which is going to be in the Premier League. But yeah, to see Joe Donahue tweet this out not long ago, probably about 20 minutes ago, is great news. Really is great news. And you're seeing now, you know, when it goes a little bit quiet, which it has done for the last couple of days, all of a sudden a Leeds-based journalist pops up and gets the green light to put this out to us. And like I say, again, I'd love to get your thoughts. Leeds fans, let me know in the comments. Are you happy because it's another signing? Are you happy because we've known about Gudmundsson now for a week or two? Or are you a little bit disappointed that he isn't a well-known name? Again, he's a player we probably know now and wanted because we've known of him for a week or two. We've been linked with him, but go back a few weeks, just like Diarra. I know we missed out to Sunderland on Diarra, but a lot of these players were linked with the players we've got. We weren't aware of them, or a lot of us weren't aware of them. You know, I don't watch French football. I don't watch Italian football anymore. Even with Jacobi, all I'd heard of him or seen him on international duty. But these players we've signed, whether you rate them or not, they ain't household names in England. And this is what they're aiming to be now coming to Leeds United. 10 million quid. It's a decent amount if we get that sort of level out of him that we need, because he's going to be a starting left back for us. And if you can get a decent run out of Gudmundsson in that position, then 10 million quid's a snip. But it remains to be seen, can he make that step up? Again, it's not a massive financial outlay for Leeds United, but it's imperative and so important that we get this right, because I did a video earlier saying that Sam Byram is going to stay at least for another season. That's factual. That's correct. It hasn't been broke yet, but that is happening. Sam Byram will be remaining at least 2. So is he going to be direct backup for Gudmundsson? And I'm a massive Byram fan. I'd like to think not, because it's a big risk to put all your eggs in the Gudmundsson basket. And if it doesn't work, I've obviously Sam Byram, who a lot of people would say isn't Prem quality, and his fitness is always an issue in the back of your mind, although he's proved over the last 2 seasons that, his body's held up a lot better than what we thought. But I'm really happy with this one. The fact we've got it over the line after, and again, a little bit like the Gabriel, it became common knowledge that it was going to sign, and then it went quiet. And Gabriel popped up then 4 or 5 days later, and it was announced. So I'm expecting this to be announced very shortly by the club. But the fact that Joe Donoghue and other outlets have confirmed the deal, I'm pretty sure this is now a done deal. The fact that, like I say, that our Leeds-based journalist has announced it in Joe Donoghue. So brilliant news on that front. Signing number 4 in the door. Moving on. Another bit of news tonight, which is, it keeps coming and coming and coming from a reliable source. We had it last night with the goalkeeper Savic as well, getting brought by a reliable source. Tonight, before this announcement got made on Gudmundsson, Florian Plettenberg, another reliable source, Leeds have made contact to sign Anton Stach. There is no official offer yet to Hoffenheim, but the 26-year-old central midfielder is under contract till 27, and a deal is possible. This would be the statement signing so far. I think if we were to get Stach again, another player I wasn't aware of until we were linked with him. There hasn't been one player personally that is a household name in my house when it comes to any of these players we've signed so far. I'm aware of them. I've heard the names. I've seen the odd game. I've seen some of them at international level. But this guy is the one that, when you research all the players we've signed, this one's the one who's had, Real Madrid looking at him a couple of years ago. This guy is a baller. And, the height of him, I think he's 6'4". Central midfielder, can do both. He's good going forward, but he's predominantly going to break up midfield, and he's got a really good pass on him. He's going to be an absolute destroyer in that midfield for me, exactly what Leeds need. Somebody I think who, I talk about Tanaka starting alongside Ampadu. I think they're going to go to a 3 midfield to, a Stach isn't coming to make the numbers up. We've got some players we've signed so far that are coming to make the numbers up, you could argue, although they'll all be, feeling they can push for the start, and that's what we need in the competition. We need that bench to be full of international quality players. And these players we've bought, if they are fringe players, are international level players. It's up to them now to prove the quality and the fitness. But Stach is not coming to sit on that bench. He's not. I don't think he's fitting the bench. He's an absolute mountain. So hopefully this is one Leeds can get done. The fact that we've made contact goes to show the intent. I don't think money will be an issue on this one. I've seen before, maybe around 15 million quid. Maybe it's more than that, depending on the interest. I'm sure Hoffenheim will be wanting a bidding war coming for him. So we'll see how that goes, because there's definitely rumours of other sides in Europe as well wanting him. So we'll have to see how that goes. But if Leeds are serious about Anton Stach, that's great news for us. And I think this is a player that all Leeds fans will get on board with. All Leeds fans. There's still people who aren't sure on Gudmundsson, and I understand that. But this guy, Anton Stach, everybody seems on board with. Online, when I speak to lads at work, when I speak to my friends in general at WhatsApp groups, Stach is the one we've been linked with who everybody wants. A little bit like the keeper, Savic as well yesterday. Got linked with him from Torino. I haven't seen anybody say they don't want him. And this is the same for Anton Stach. He would come into our midfield and he would be a starter, whether that's in a 2 in midfield, and he would, for me, would have to replace Ampadu, or would play 3 in midfield, which I think is more likely, because he's not coming to make the numbers up. That is a fact. But this is the most exciting link we've had, is Anton Stach. So yeah, I'd love to know your thoughts on that. But yeah, really exciting news. Getting linked with Stach, getting it announced we've got Gudmundsson for 10 million quid. The fees Leeds are getting these players for are really, really good. Really, really good. We're not breaking bank, no, which lowers fan expectation of the player. It does. But that's not to say the poor players. Some of these players have been touted to go to big clubs like Stach, huge clubs, Real Madrid. Jacoby had suitors who were in Europe, and he turned them down to come to Leeds United. So there's a lot of promise in these players, and it's just exciting, man. Like, Leeds have been getting slated by sections of the fan base for not being quick enough in deals, but now that'll be 4 fruit door. you know, after the first week of July. That's 4 in place now before pre-season started. Well, pre-season started today, but that's 4 in place before, you know, still got, what, just under 2 weeks until we play Scum in Stockholm. All these players can play. All these players will be, you know, raring to play first game in pre-season, which is brilliant. You know, it's not very often, I don't feel it's not very often we get the bulk of his work done before pre-season. I'd still like to see another 3 or 4 come in, don't get me wrong. And I'm hoping some of these players are higher value players in terms of money, which I don't know if that's just me being daft, because I don't think money determines whether it's a good signing or not. But it would be nice to see a couple of, you know, X factor players come in, and those players do require a big fee. You can get good players at low fees. You can, really good players, depending on the situation. But, you know, now and again, you've got to push that envelope to attract that, you know, to get that deal done and attract that, you know, top player, which I think Leeds are missing maybe 2 of them. And I'm hoping we can bring in 2 real statement signings. But this would be a statement signing, to be fair. Like I say, and I don't think this is going to be a 20, 30 million pound player. I've seen rumours of about 15 million quid. Maybe it'll be more. We'll have to see. But Anton Stach, the fact that Leeds have approached Hoffenheim, that's brilliant news. Brilliant news. Let's hope it goes quiet for a few days and we get a Stach over line come middle of the week. But yeah, to get Gudmundsson sort of agree tonight and know that we're definitely going all out for Stach is news to my ears. I can't lie. And then if we can get Savic in as well, the 6'8" goalkeeper, that'd just be class. And then you're looking at that, maybe that wing spot, centre forward spot, and maybe some more depth at fullback, even though Biden is signing a 1-year deal. But yeah, really excited for this now. It's just nice to see the deals get done. But there will be fans not happy with Gudmundsson coming. I've seen it already, but we've just got to back the club that they're doing right. You know, the 49ers haven't got steered us wrong much when it's come to transfers so far. We haven't got much wrong. We haven't. You know, Jed Spence springs to mind, but that was a good sign at the time. It was more the attitude and stuff of the player, not the quality of the player. Kamara, I wasn't a massive Kamara fan in that first year, but he played a lot of minutes. He did okay, and we flipped to him, made money on him. You know, got to have steady Eddie. They haven't been a bad signing for me. So I back all these signings that we're doing. I back the decent value, the decent quality, and they've got, you know, high potential. Otherwise, Leeds won't be signing them, and we can get lost in looking at Sunderland's and worrying about their fees. You know, they've signed 3 or 4 players who are all going to AFCON as well. So that's a factor. So there's downside and upside to every single situation. The upside to Leeds' business so far is cost. The downside is, can they cut it? Are they good enough? You know, based on the value, based on a couple of them being injured, you know, looking at them being squad players rather than first teamers. But I think the 49ers are getting it right. It's felt like a slow burner, but all of a sudden, 1 week into July, and you've got 4 deals done. That's brilliant for us going in, you know, starting pre-season today. It's absolutely class. Feels unheard of for Leeds as well to have the business done so early. So, yeah, I am concerned. And now, hopefully, we can, like I say, get a couple of those star signings through the door, which Stach probably is one of them. So, yeah, so before I go, I'd just like to touch on my T-shirts. So I mentioned it on yesterday's video. I've brought out 5 T-shirts. I'm just going to bring the site up now. Get my words out. So it is. So it's through Printify. So I'm going to put the link in the description. So graffiti Leeds Scummer back. So I really like this design. So it's got the little logo on the front here, on the left side of the chest, and the big logo on the back. MOT 1919. All Leeds out. We are the champions Europe. But I realise a really smart design. This, yeah, comes in small to 3XL. 3XL's out there at the minute, but yeah, I want to say all colours. You get it in white, black, grey, and navy blue. Graffiti Blind Faith. This one was a bit of a joke. Me and my pal Priestley, one of my biggest hits views on my videos was the Swansea aftermath in the car with Priestley. So Priestley really wanted to see his face on it because he's vain as chuff. So we decided to make this, and a few of the members have already bought this, so it's doing well already. So a bit of fun with this one, but again, same with colours. Comes in white, black, blue, and grey. Graffiti Beckford, my favourite. This one, it's got the Imagine Not Being Leeds logo there, and I love the back of this. Absolutely love the back of this. January 3rd. Remember the date. We beat the team. You all know that one. I'm sure you know the colours look. Really, in black, it looks smart. I wore this on my birthday night. It looks so smart in black. Does that? So nice. Graffiti Yeboah. Again, this is probably bestseller so far. I've not had loads sold. I think I've sold about 10 items now. I think this has sold. This is the best-selling shirt so far. It's the Yeboah goal against Liverpool. But yeah, it's my favourite one. It seems to be everyone else's favourite one so far, sorry. And then this was the first one that I'd ever designed. Again, the logo there on the chest. And Imagine Not Being Leeds with a shot of Ampadu with the flare in his mouth. I absolutely love that one too. So that was the first one that I designed. Again, I love black t-shirts. I'm a big guy. Black seems to just be killer, but yeah, really smart. But yeah, if you have a look at these, so if you go into guide here, add to cart just to show you. So they come up, look, at £37.49, which when you convert it over to pounds, it's about £27. And that's including postage. So I think it's about right in line with what other people are doing the shirts for. So yeah, it'd be so cool for people to let me know what they think, for people to buy them, and hopefully see people around Ellen Road wearing them, which would just be a bit of a dream come true. To be fair, bump into someone wearing that would be unreal. So yeah, get them in for Dublin, because I'm going to Dublin. I'll be wearing mine. I'll probably wear it Bedfordshire for Dublin, and hopefully I'll see someone there wearing one of mine. But we'll see how it goes. But yeah, exciting night. Gudmundsson deal done, 10 million quid snip. Anton Stach, we have made contact with Hoffenheim. That's great news. Great news. And my t-shirts are out. So yeah, check them out too. The link will be in the description for the pop-up shop on Printify. That will be in the description, so please check that out. And yeah, I'll leave it at that. But have a good Tuesday. Have a good rest of your week. Tomorrow night, I am on onlyfoolsandsafc for the first show of Bridging the Gap. A bit of a twist on Michael Bridges, obviously play for both sides. So Bridging the Gap, and obviously we're bridging the gap from the Championship to the Premier League. Can it be done? Can either of us stay in the division? So that's a new weekly show every Tuesday at 9:30 on onlyfoolsandsafc this week. Wayne doesn't do many lives, so he's gonna go first, and we'll see how it goes. So I'd love, my subscribers, my friends, to go over and watch that on his channel and mix with Sunderland fans in chat, and we'll see how it goes. It's a really heated sort of space at the minute with Sunderland. They think they've got one over on us. Do we give a shit? Probably not. But it's made for a really good start to our weekly show. This was Sunderland, sort of like transfer battle that's heated up these last few weeks. So, and then it's going to be alternate weeks. So the next Tuesday it'll be on here on Imagine Not Being Leeds. So yeah, I'll put the link to Wayne's channel also in the description, so you can go on there and sub and get ready for tomorrow night show at 9:30 over on onlyfoolsandsafc. But please take care, look after your sends, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys.